Coming up on Lazer Update, we meet Ted Matthews, director of the Learning Center, to tell us what he does here at OCC.
Plus, we take a look at an art contest held on Unity Day to see students' creations come to reality. All that and more in the next 20 minutes.
Good morning and welcome to Lazer Update. I'm Dan Kelly.
And I'm Damian Hanson. It's April 27th, 2 weeks until graduation. Time really flies.
It sure does. Today we are jam-packed with content for you. This is our 20th show out of 32 shows. 12 more shows to go. Let's make this one count. Sometimes you need an extra set of eyes to help you with your classwork. Well, if you are looking for help with homework, I know the perfect person for you right here at OCC. Our reporter Vincent Moody introduces you to Ted Matthews.
After graduating from OCC over 20 years ago, this instructor has found a way to still give back to the campus he loves. He's trained and tutored hundreds of students at OCC's Learning Center and hopes to continue helping new students succeed.
My current role is the director of the Learning Center, oversee all the operations of the center, including supervision of all the staff. I hire, train the tutors, set their schedules. I help on other various committees such as orientation and open house. I would help out with covering our desk in the evenings at the old Content Tuning Center. We help develop a guidebook for how to use a graphing calculator.
Ted enjoys the new interactions he makes with students every day. He feels a great sense of community here on campus, and it drives his passion for the Learning Center.
Tutoring was the focal point, was the main focus. We don't have a great learning center without great tutors, I'm just here to, put them in place, and but it's also working with the students, hearing their stories as far as, hopefully they're doing well in their class, or success stories, or, when they graduate and they come back and they visit us, or even our tutors that they'll graduate and move on, they come back and they say, oh, I'm doing this, and that's a very rewarding, aspect of the position.
Ted Matthews hopes his program keeps students focused and engaged throughout their tenure at OCC, across the stage at commencement, and into their future.
If you want more information on the Learning Center, you can visit Gordon Student Center, room 202. They are open Monday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. For more information, you can visit their website or email them on learningcenter@sunyocc.edu. One of our daily segments on Lazer Update is called Did You Know?, where we learn about several departments, programs, people, and events that make OCC run every day. Today we focus on the Unity Day Art Contest, where we highlight what OCC students created.
The Unity Day Art Contest was held on February 22nd at the Gordon Student Center Great Room. Our Edgar Daoud has the story.
Did you know on February 22nd, OCC held the Unity Day Art Contest at Gordon Student Center from 12:15 to 1:15. As you enter Gordon Student Center, you see a lot of students and inspired art from OCC students who are able to transform fiction into reality through their creativity. You can hang out with friends and draw with them. You can enter the art contest and show the world the art you created. And if you get first place, you win $100. The only way to see the result is going to the website or scanning the QR code. If you guys missed the art contest, don't worry, OCC holds one every semester.
It's great to see students' work and them getting recognized for it. It's an amazing display of students' creativity. If you want to show off your talent, keep an eye on your email next semester for events like this. We are currently facing a national-wide shortage of firefighters. Lucky for us, OCC is taking action to close the gap. Our Allie Elkins introduces us to the Fire Protection Technology Program.
When the call comes in, first responders must always be ready to handle any emergency situation. The Fire Protection Program at OCC trains aspiring firefighters and EMS on how to react in real time when an incident occurs.
All of our professors are in the fire service. They've been in our shoes, they've gone through the program themselves. They teach us everything we need to know, from cutting up a car in Fire 2 to putting out a fire in Fire 1. They don't just go through the basics, they put you in an actual live fire for training purposes, so you know what it's actually like.
The program has been around for about 40 years, and in that time, about 80% of our graduates have gone on to careers in public safety. So firefighting is obviously a physical, hands-on job. So aside from the classroom instruction they get, our students go up to a local training facility in the town of Camillus. So the students get to use all of the tools and equipment that fire departments use every day in the normal operations.
For the resources that we do have and that we're able to get, their program does a fantastic job with making it as realistic as possible. It made me realize, like, this is the real deal. Like, it's not something that's given to you, it's something that you earn over time.
For Lazer Update, I'm Allie Elkins.
OCC's Fire Protection Technology degree is the only program in New York State to offer National Firefighter Certification, meaning graduates are eligible for firefighting careers throughout the country.
Before we go to break, here's a list of events that will take place on campus, including what's coming up this week. Check it out.
Being healthy is important and should always be thought of. That's why OCC is holding an event called Healthy Start in Whitney Hall, Tuesday, May 2nd, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The same day, Syracuse University will be visiting OCC from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at Gordon Center. Check both of these events out if you're interested.
Are you graduating this semester? Commencement is being held May 20th, 11 a.m. at the SRC Arena. If you are a candidate for graduation, check your email and RSVP by May 1st. Also, make sure you pick up your cap and gown from the bookstore for your walk of a lifetime.
I chose OCC because it provided a great opportunity for me to help students in my local community.
I chose OCC because I wanted to be able to experience the student life on campus.
I chose OCC for the hands-on learning.
Discover why OCC
is the right choice for you.
Why did I choose OCC? I chose OCC because it's close to home.
Why did I come to OCC? I came to OCC because it was financially affordable for my family.
Why did I choose OCC? I chose OCC for the hands-on learning.
Attention to all Star Wars fans. A video game coming out tomorrow, April 28th, called Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It centers around Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, who tries to defeat the Galactic Empire and its never-ending efforts to abolish the last remaining survivors of Order 66. The video game is compatible with PS5, Xbox Series X or S, and PC. Welcome back to Lazer Update. I'm Dan Kelly.
And I'm Damian Hanson.
You know, Damian, so far we've learned a lot about what OCC has to offer.
Yes, we did. Coming up next, we learn more about OCC's Veterans Affairs Office. Do you ever feel stressed during the school year? We'll give you an insight on how students deal with stress during classes. When you end your military career and want to get an education, OCC provides excellent support through the Office of Veterans Affairs. Our reporter Edgar Daoud sat down with the Assistant Director of Veterans Affairs, Stephen White, to tell you all about its services.
From an educational advisor to the Assistant Director of Veterans at the Office of Veterans Affairs, Stephen White embodies what OCC tries to provide for its students, sense of home and belonging.
Grew up in Central New York, graduated from high school, and I enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. I was an active duty United States Marine infantryman and carried a rifle for 4 years. The office actually opened in 1974, so 49 years ago. We're very excited about next year being our 50th anniversary. I think it gives me a degree of credibility because I'm both a veteran as they are, and I went to school using the GI Bill as they are, so I can relate to their experience and how they got here and the challenges that they face as a student veteran. Lots of memories. It's great to see students graduate and come in and tell you that they got accepted at the transfer school that they were looking for. And, you know, sometimes it's just great to see students get through the semester with passing grades.
Stephen White, a man who has and continues to provide for his community, is a prime example of how one person's dedication to helping others can have a long-lasting impact on others.
OCC was recently named military friendly for the 2023-2024 academic year. You can credit Steve White and his staff.
PTEC stands for Pathways in Technology Early College High School. This program helps high school students get an associate's degree while they are still in high school. Its primarily focus is the STEM field. Not many people know what this program is, so our Brandon King sat down to interview two people that are very important.
Pathways in Technology, Early College, and High School, also known as PTEC, is a somewhat unknown program to students here on campus. A lot of us wish that we knew ways to graduate high school with an associate's degree while having easy opportunities for a job right after. I spoke with Haley Warren, the Assistant Director of Enrollment, Development, and Communication in the PTEC program. She gave very in-depth answers when we talked about the program.
Sure. So PTEC students come to OCC pursuing a pathway in mechanical technology, electrical technology, computer information systems, health professions, really runs the gamut, but it, for the most part, is STEM related. So we have students who could potentially have jobs at Micron once the chip fab is up and running, working as technicians, engineers. So PTEC is important because it gives students the opportunity to pursue a field and a college degree that they may not have had the opportunity to pursue in general.
I wanted to speak with others involved in the program as well. I'm thankful to Haley and Professor Tab Cox for allowing me to see where the classroom's mind was on PTEC too. I was able to talk to Tab as well, being the electric technology professor.
It's an enjoyable opportunity for our less advantaged students to kind of have an opportunity to see what things might be a good fit for them in our community.
I didn't really choose it as much as like my parents kind of urged me to go down that route, and I thought it was a cool thing, so I did it.
PTEC's given me a lot of opportunities. They work with industry partners, so you make a lot of connections, and overall it's a very welcoming community of teachers.
PTEC as a whole is in a weird spot. The high school population is growing and getting involved while the college population is decreasing. They aim to point these younger students in the best direction they can, being a supportive community as a whole. I'm Brandon King, and that's it.
PTEC courses differ by each high school. Some of the courses are mechanical engineering, health information, technology, and computer information system. If you are interested in PTEC, talk to your high school guidance counselor. Stress can be found in a lot of places, whether from school or work. Sometimes hearing how other people cope can help us find better ways for ourselves.
I agree. I think it's good that people talk about their stress, their copying mechanisms.
That's why our correspondent, Destiny Salas, went around OCC to ask students how they deal with stress.
As time ticks forward and finals are around the corner, it's easy to lose yourself. Today, I asked students of OCC what methods they use to de-stress at the end of the semester.
When I get overwhelmed from stress for school, I normally go read. Like, that's a big thing that helps me out. It helps me just, like, calm and recenter and, like, I don't know, just gives me an escape.
I try to stay super organized and just make sure I have time for myself to relax.
Handle stress at the end of the semester by taking long walks in nature.
I also go for long drives. Like, I'll go past the park or, I don't know, just go on the highway and get, like, a breeze or something. I don't know, getting away from the work actually helps me, like, reassess and, like, be better when I go back to do it.
And there you have it, ways to relax during a stressful semester from OCC students themselves. This is Pulse of the Campus. For Lazer Update, I'm Destiny Salas.
Wow, what amazing things people do to realize themselves.
Yeah, so simple yet so effective.
Before we go to break, we want to catch you up on the upcoming OCC Lazer sports games and the latest sports scores. On April 29th at noon, OCC's baseball team faces off against Monroe Community College in Syracuse at OCC's baseball complex. April 30th at noon, OCC's softball team will be at Broome Community College in Binghamton. On the same day, noon, OCC's women's lacrosse faces off against Monroe's Community College at the Charles R. Wilberg Field. On Sunday, May 7th at noon, OCC's baseball will be at Tompkins Cortland Community College in Dryden, New York. Before we go to break, here are the scores from last week.
The Coulter Library is your place for entertainment. With over 77,000 books, movies, and CDs, there's always something to do. Your place for research help. Trouble with a project? Ask a librarian. Your place for quiet space. Shh. Our first floor is reserved for quiet work only. Your place for IT help. Visit our help desk on the second floor. All this and so much more at the Coulter Library. Open 7 days a week. For more information, visit sunyocc.edu/library.
Discover why OCC is the right choice for you.
One of the reasons why I chose OCC is because it's closer to home. I can still get to see my friends and family. And plus, you can even get a private room where you can study. It's nice and quiet. You can even use it for an hour or a half.
I chose OCC because it provided me a great opportunity to help students in my local community.
I chose OCC's BMC program because there's a lot of equipment that they have here on campus that is used worldwide.
DC's fans, listen up. An upcoming film is coming to you. The Flash, coming out June 16th, starring Michael Keaton and Ezra Miller. It follows the Flash, also known as Barry Allen, and his attempts to save a loved one by traveling back in time, which leads to problems. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Damon Hanson.
And I'm Dan Kelly. Before we say goodbye, we have one more segment for you. It's called Got Issues, where students talk about their topics that grind their gears. Today's topic is fascination with true crime and why people are so obsessed with watching crime shows. Edgar Daoud has got the lead. Take it away, Edgar.
Thanks, Dan. Hello, everyone. I'm Edgar Daoud, and today on Got Issues, we're discussing fascination with true crimes. Why are people in this day and age interested in watching true crime? What do they achieve by watching them? Joining me today are Dan Kelly and Annabelle Hughes to talk about the issue. Thank you for joining me, guys. Annabelle, how would you define true crime in media?
Well, I would define true crime in media as any sort of media that focuses on the crime and its ramifications, the victims, the perpetrator, the crime itself, what's the aftermath, the fallout, maybe what was the lead up even. That is what I would say is true crime in media.
Dan, why are people fascinated with watching true crime?
Well, I'd say that something about it really engages them because it's factual, hopefully, and the fact that you know it's happened. There's something gruesome about that really intrigues people.
Do you think these shows should be like gory, have blood, or keep it PG?
Well, I'd definitely add the gore and blood if you want some views, because otherwise it's not going to be that engaging of a show.
Annabelle, how much dramatization or fiction should these shows have?
I would think zero, personally, because many of these crimes, not all, but many of these, involve either people getting seriously injured, dead, lives ruined, and I think it's very disrespectful to make things up about these events in that case. Although if it's like a robbery, go nuts, I guess.
I guess if no one gets hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dan, what do you think the message is behind these shows? What the message should be behind these shows?
Well, it's tough to say because I don't really know what the message should be, but If anything, I'd prefer it to have the victims be shown in a good light so that you actually feel empathy for them.
Annabelle, should people take tips when watching these shows? Like, if make sure that this doesn't happen to them, the victims who escaped, like it shouldn't happen to them?
I mean, like, I hope it doesn't happen to them,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say watching a TV show unless it's specifically marketed for here's what to do in this scenario is like always good advice, especially because, as you've mentioned, there could be dramatization. This might not have happened. This might not be a good way to get away from like a serial killer.
When we come back, our discussion continues right here on Guy Issues.
I chose OCC because it provided a great opportunity for me to help students in my local community.
I chose OCC because I wanted to be able to experience the student life on campus.
I chose OCC for the hands-on learning.
Discover why OCC
is the right choice for you.
Welcome back. Edgar here again. I'm with Dan and Kelly. And we've been talking. Let's continue. Annabelle, how do you think the traumatized and abused victim reaction to true crime?
Well, I guess it depends on how respectfully the series is, how traumatized the individual person can be, because it is an individual level. But like, if the series is respectful, has appropriate trigger warnings when necessary, then people shouldn't have an adverse reaction to watching media, any media.
But let's say if someone moved on from what happened to them and they watch the TV show with the same concept, wouldn't they have nightmares from it or start remembering stuff?
Well, once again, that's at an individual level, but assuming the individual takes, the necessary precautions and goes, I think I can handle this, and the TV show is, appropriately advertises itself like this is what you're going to see, it gives you the appropriate trigger warnings, it lets you know in advance, this is what's going to happen, this is the gore, the blood, the violence, this is the scenario, then everyone should be fine at the end.
Dan, how should the victims be compensated?
Well, it depends. Most of the time, the victims aren't necessarily alive, but the families could be compensated by possibly a payout by the show, but they should definitely be contacted beforehand, and compensation could be talked about then.
Annabelle, what do you think people gain out of watching these shows?
Well, I know a majority of true crime watchers are women who are also the majority of victims in horrible crimes. So I think it's a morbid sense of safety almost. Like, I know what's going to happen. This is what would happen if I were in this scenario. Maybe this is how I escape. Or maybe it's just, well, at least if I'm going to go out, I know how it happens in advance.
Thank you, guys. I would like to thank my guests, Dan and Annabelle, and hope you enjoyed watching. I'm Edgar Daoud, and that's Got Issues.
Thank you, Edgar. We would like to thank you all for joining us today. Hopefully you learned a lot of what OCC offers in terms of programs and events.
Make sure you like and follow us on Facebook and our YouTube channel at Onondaga's Campus Connections. New episodes are uploaded every Monday and Thursday at 5 p.m.
Once again, I'm Dan Kelly.
And I'm Damien Hanson. Thank you for watching.